Brisbane, in keeping with our commitment to reconciliation and respect, I acknowledge the Turrbal people as the traditional owners of the land where this video was recorded and recognize that this land has always been under their custodianship. I pay my respect to elders past and present and to emerging community leaders. I also extend respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. In Brisbane, like most developed cities in Australia, the invisibilization of Aboriginal culture is widespread. I see very little of the remnant of the once strong and proud people of Turrbal and or any of the Aboriginal people. The civilization of Australian cities has led to the creation of concrete jungle, but to the detriment of Aboriginal lifestyle, hunter and gatherer. In Australia, we see the Aboriginal culture in the fringe of our modern cities. We don't engage enough in the history of the Aboriginal people in our modern 21st century lifestyle. The photos from this video were taken mostly from the city centre of Brisbane, where modern buildings surrounds the city with its neon lights. The main building taken from this video is Roma House, where I work. The video shows the hallways and exterior of Roma House, where I work side by side with Aboriginal social workers. In Roma House, about a quarter of our clients are Aboriginal descent. I took the photo of the window looking from the inside out. I believe that we cannot truly start to understand the loss of Aboriginal culture if we cannot see from the inside or the perspective of the Aboriginal people. It seems that the government and the people are always looking from the outside in. To me, Roma House is more than just a place of employment. It is a place where I can still experience Aboriginal stories and culture. In this place, I work side by side with Aboriginal social workers, and we work to serve the Aboriginal population. In week 1, we talked about being invited into the world. In Roma House, my Aboriginal co-workers and clients invite me into their world. Here I listen to their narrative. I exercise my narrative therapeutic skills to engage with their stories. In so doing, I learned about the diverse culture they all come from and the unique lifestyle experience they have. One of the young Aboriginal residents nicknamed me Milo. He did so as apparently I was the only staff that gave him Milo. He once told me that he felt that the staff were mean to him and that they never gave him Milo when he asked for it. So he always waited for me when I started my graveyard shift to ask me for Milo. Truth is, if we found Milo in our common ground for storytelling. I learned that he was originally from Townsville. He came to Brisbane because his parents moved down here. He told me that he never quite fit in Brisbane. In fact, he said that he always felt Brisbane was not his place. He felt that there's too much of the white privilege. After several more discussions, I asked him if he would consider moving back to Townsville, where he would feel more at home. Weeks gone by, and I learned from one of the Aboriginal social workers that he requested to be transferred back to Townsville. I was glad he asked to be transferred, as home is where your heart is, and Townsville is his home. On reflection, this video is about Roma House, my exposure to Aboriginal culture, and my role as a community worker and the beautiful landscape of Australia. The invisibilization of Aboriginal culture in the 21st century has led to Australian ignorance of the local traditions and customs. We stand in awe of the Australian landscape, but we forget that this place was once the ancient playground of the Aboriginal people and their home for over 40,000 years. This beautiful land that is Australia, I now call home, is a place I share with the traditional owner of this land and its ancient history and beautiful landscape. In Australia, we need to celebrate more the intersection of ancient Aboriginal history together with modern civilization.